Well, yeah, I tried to go live. It didn't work because no one could hear me. I am hoping that people can hear me this time, but we'll check. I'm not going to be sure until I know for sure. But we'll check. Yeah, so people can actually hear what I'm saying now. That's good. So we're going to talk about what happened. Hang on, I'll turn that off. You don't want to be hearing me twice. So we'll talk about what happened during the F1 Grand Prix in Monza yesterday. I've only just seen it. I finished watching the race a couple of hours ago, and then just finished watching the check flag. So we'll talk about what happened at the beginning of the Grand Prix. Let's start off with Norris. Norris didn't have a very good start to the race. He finished 7th overall, but he had a very slow start to the race. So Norris finished 7th. Sainz, he was right at the back of the grid through a grid penalty and finished the race in 4th, I think. So he had a really good race yesterday. The pit stops are great. There's nothing I could think of to say that he didn't have a good race yesterday. So 4th place for starting 19th. I think Sainz started in 19th. And I think Lewis Hamilton was in 20th. I think. Don't hold me on that. I can't completely remember the starting grid, but I'm pretty sure that's how they started. But to be sure, I will double check. So let's go to that. There should be no, I don't still have them. So give me 1 minute. I will double check the lineup, the starting grid, but I'm pretty sure I got it correct. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's it there. So what am I doing? Yeah, so we'll go over the starting grid and then we'll go from there. Yesterday, I obviously know Leclerc was in pole position for yesterday. I would say he had a good race in all. I wouldn't say he had a really bad race. I think he had a good race. You know, they were very quick. Look, Red Bull again with Verstappen, so you can't say he had a bad race because he didn't win. He had a good race. Yes, so I was correct. Sainz started kind of correct. So the starting lineup was Yuki Tsunoda in 20th, then Lewis Hamilton in 19th, then Carlos Sainz with Hamilton with a penalty, so 19th, then Carlos Sainz with a penalty in 18th, then Mick Schumacher in 17th. Then it was Kevin Magnussen in 16th, then Valtteri Bottas in 15th place with another penalty. They both had a penalty there. 14th was Ocon, 13th was Perez. Penalty, both of them had a penalty as well. There's quite a lot of penalties. Then Stroll then in 12th and Sebastian Vettel in 11th. Latifi in 10th. Zhou Guanyu in 9th. Then it was Nick De Vries, his debut, fantastic debut he had, alongside Max Verstappen with a penalty in 7th. Then Fernando Alonso in 6th. Then Pierre Gasly in 5th. Daniel Ricciardo in 4th. Lando Norris in 3rd. George Russell in 2nd. And Charles Leclerc started on pole position. So George Russell had another brilliant race again to finish 3rd. Sainz, I've spoken about, had a fantastic race. Yes, Charles Leclerc led the race until he went in for a pit stop on the virtual safety car, I think it was. And then Max Verstappen, there you go. Max Verstappen led the race really from start to finish as soon as he took over after coming out of the they both pitted, obviously. Leclerc pitted, then Verstappen was first. Then Verstappen pitted, and Leclerc was first again. And then Leclerc pitted again, and Max Verstappen took the lead. And that is the way it stayed until the safety car, where I think they both pitted under the safety car, but the race ended under a safety car, which led to Max Verstappen keeping the lead and winning the Grand Prix. So uh, the the results for the Monza Grand Prix, the way it finished, obvious first DNF was Sebastian Vettel. Yeah, his car stopped for some reason. I can't remember what was the issue there. And then Daniel Ricciardo was stopped right into the corner of the straight, which led to the safety car after with Vettel. It was a virtual safety car on lap 20 something, I think it was. Then it was a full safety car on lap 48 out of 53 that led to a safety car. So the starting grid was the way the race ended after lap 53 out of 53 on a Monza GP on Formula One was Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, Sainz, Hamilton, Perez, Norris, Gasly, De Vries, Zhou, Ocon, Schumacher, Bottas, Tsunoda, Latifi, and Magnussen. And there was 4 DNFs, I think there was, which was Ricciardo, Stroll, Alonso, and Vettel, I think. So that's as far as I'm aware at the moment. But yeah, in all, it was a good race. I enjoyed watching the Monza GP. Very good race in my opinion. Verstappen had a fantastic race. Leclerc had a good race. The other people who did well was Sainz, Russell, Hamilton. They all 4 of them had a really good race. For Hamilton to start 19th on the grid and ending 5th is fantastic. Apparently, it's his best finish since 2019 that I was seeing it say. So the virtual safety car was on lap 12. There you go. That's great stats for you to know. If you don't know, on lap 15, Verstappen was ahead of Russell by around about 6.5 seconds. Well, the softs were on lap 17 by about that time. On lap 20, it was still Verstappen first, was Russell second, and Leclerc third, and Sainz fourth. So we're getting through this a bit. And I know for a fact that the virtual safety car was on lap 12. I know for a fact that the safety car was on lap 48. So on lap 29, Leclerc was first. So obviously, Verstappen's gone into the pits at this stage with a 7-point lead that Leclerc has. And soon, I'm pretty sure Leclerc goes into the pits. Yep, there you go. And Verstappen takes the lead again on lap 34. So we're up to lap 36 out of 53 at the moment. And I'm pretty sure Verstappen led the race from that position on lap 36. Or no, lap 34, I said, didn't I? So, yes. It was a really good race. I enjoyed it. We're on lap 44 now. 45 with Verstappen still first. So, yes, he led the race, Verstappen, since lap 48. Oh, yellow flag. There you go. It was the end of 47 to 48. And Leclerc went into the pits during the safety car. And I'm pretty sure it was a good pit stop. Let's have a look again. It was a 2.3, yeah, it was a really good pit stop. Tsunoda, 2.7. This is on lap 49. With Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, Sainz, Hamilton, Perez, Norris, Gasly, De Vries, Zhou, Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Bottas, Tsunoda, Latifi's in the pits, and Magnussen. Yes, so Ricciardo, Stroll, Alonso, and Vettel were all the DNFs at the end of lap 49 under a safety car. So yeah, like I said, De Vries, absolutely amazing debut to be in the points, being eighth. The other drivers, I would say, yes, Verstappen, he had a fantastic race again to win his 5th race in a row, his 11th for the season, which will mean that if Leclerc doesn't finish, I'm pretty sure that's what they were saying, in Singapore, and Verstappen wins the Grand Prix, he will be champion for the 2nd year in a row. Yep, Leclerc had a brilliant race. I think he drove really well. There was no faults, there was no errors. Why he didn't win the race at the weekend, just the fact that Red Bull were just that much faster, that much better. Russell had another good race, which he has all season anyway. Sainz, fantastic from where he started. Hamilton, fantastic from where he started. I think Perez did okay. Norris, from his slow start, he recovered from that to finish. So yes, Norris had a very good race after a slow start. Gasly, okay. De Vries, I'm gonna Liminal. No question about he was driver of the day. De Vries was absolutely amazing in my opinion for his debut, for the time that he had to prepare in that race, and to finish in the points. Absolutely brilliant in my opinion. So, congratulations to him on his full F1 debut. So yeah, that's basically Monza from yesterday. I will be going live on PlayStation 4 in roughly 45 minutes time, and I will be doing the Monza Grand Prix. You can watch me on that. I do go live on Twitch, which is Craig Hawkins 2021. So if you want to watch me on that, feel free to do that. I rarely do PlayStation on YouTube. When I am live on YouTube, it is normally on PC, which I'm on at the moment. I will be doing more. I have another YouTube account, which is roughly just for Titanic. But if you want to check that out, that's Titanic Atlantic. I normally do stuff on that a lot around about the anniversary, but I will be doing the Britannic, which is in November. We'll be doing test streams in October, getting ready for the anniversary in November. I do other stuff as well, but I'm mainly at the moment doing Jurassic World Evolution 2, F1, FIFA on my Twitch account. So be sure to check that out. Yeah, so I'll be live on that tonight in around about 45 minutes to an hour. If you don't check me out on Twitter, be sure to do that. It's at Craig Hawkins 91. You get updates of all the Titanic that I do, F1 that I do when I'm going live, etc. Basically like that. Yeah, so I do many stuff like that, football transfer news, F1 news, a lot of stuff on Twitter I do. But like I said, I'll be live on F1 22 around about 45 minutes time. So that'll be, 6:15. And then I'll be doing a stream of Jurassic World Evolution 2. But that, guys, is basically the chat about Monza yesterday, how the race went, how Verstappen did. Absolutely brilliant again. No question that he deserves to be world champion again after the dominant season that he's had. So if he does win in Singapore, which I'm pretty sure he will, he completely deserves it. For all the Hamilton fans out there, I don't think Hamilton has had a terrible season. I know he hasn't won a race, but considering how much slower Mercedes is compared to Red Bull, well, Verstappen, should I say, he's had an okay season. To be sixth in the championship leaderboards, I know is considerably worse than last year, but it isn't that bad. So, for him, I wouldn't be too down on it. And for Hamilton fans out there, I wouldn't be too down about it because they will probably bounce back next year. I know we are possibly looking at the first year Hamilton hasn't won a single race of the season, but he has had moments that he's not been that bad. So, I think the focus has to be on like Russell and Leclerc, and especially Verstappen this year. But no, I wouldn't be too down on Hamilton. I think he will win another championship before he retires. I reckon he's got a really good chance of being the first time 8 world champion. So I wouldn't be too down on it. No, I think I wouldn't say he's had a terrible season. I think he's had not a bad season, but obviously the focus this year has been on Verstappen. I'm not saying it wasn't last year, but the fighting battle between Verstappen and Hamilton was more closer last season. I think Verstappen won 10 races last season compared to Hamilton's 9. Obviously, this year, Verstappen's won 11. Hamilton hasn't won a single race. So, but he has finished in respectable positions to get the points that he's got. So, no, I wouldn't be too down on that. But all credit to Verstappen, and I'm pretty sure Verstappen fans are more than happy this year how he's done. I've been impressed of how well he's been doing. He's made me a fan of his. You've got to respect him for how brilliant he's driven this year, how well he's done, how fast they've been, how dominant they've been. So yes, I would definitely give credit where credit is due. Leclerc, Ferrari's messed up too many races, I would say. Whether it's been pit stops or their car failing with Sainz in the Austrian Grand Prix, I felt really sorry for him because Ferrari's pace compared to Red Bull's Verstappen, they were actually faster than him in Austria by quite a bit. So I did feel sorry for Sainz. If it weren't for that, he probably would have had a lot more points than he's got. But it's not the first time. In Australia, he was unlucky as well. But in all, yes, Verstappen completely deserves to be world champion. Whether it's the next race or he wins it in Brazil, I think. No, in Japan. There you go. Japan is the next one after Singapore. So he's gonna win it regardless in the next 1 to 2 races anyway. But thank you for watching, guys. This is the chat of the F1 in Monza. The other day, I will normally be doing it on a Sunday, the live chat about how the F1 Grand Prix's gone, and what you guys think of the Grand Prix and how you thought about Monza. Be sure to check, leave a comment down in the comment section, and I will read as many as I possibly can and get back to you all. But thank you for watching. But until next time, guys, I'm Craig Hawkins, and goodbye for now.